Okay,
Welcome back.
welcome back.
Another
Are
session.
you saying welcome back to me, or just
Well, to everyone listening to me.
you just like to be accommodating to the peoples?
Yeah, exactly. In my bed.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, our fans aren't in my bed.
yeah. It helps when you face the microphone when you talk.
Oh, sorry, I was putting something in the bin.
Yeah, no, I like that. So
Time for a new segment.
ooh, they're reviewing future movies, predicting their success, their plot. What are we doing?
Pretty much everything.
What
Just
are we going to start on?
having a gamble
Yeah, having a little.
on how the film's going to go,
Yeah,
how we would direct it, which is kind of
like what you would.
weird. Like
Well, kind of like what you want to see.
Where would we take the story?
Yeah,
So what we're going to do is we use the Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
yeah. Doing Star Wars.
We've seen Force Awakens enough.
Yeah.
So let's just go from each category.
Yeah.
Let's start off with, how do you think the movie, or what do you think the movie will be about?
Well, what you mean? What I think, or like
What do you think?
what I hope? Because what I hope it'll be is probably different to what it's actually going to be.
Give me both.
Well, my first off, I'm going to say I reckon this one. This is a big call, but I think it will be considered the highest rated Star Wars movie of all time. I think it'll be. I think it'll outstrip Empire Strikes Back as the best Star Wars film.
Okay, yeah.
And because what I think is going to happen, or like sort of what I hope, is that they're not. A lot of people are saying how Star Wars, like The Force Awakens, mirrored the Episode 4, like the first one. You know how it's like the person, the Rey was like Luke on the desert planet and hoped for more, and then went on an adventure, and it was very like beat for beat the same story. The thing with Episode 8 is it could do exactly the same thing as Episode 5.
Yeah.
Because we got a character who's like now gone on an adventure. Her friend's like missing. They're going to try and find her. She needs to do her training, like Luke did his training in Episode 5.
Yeah, training.
She's going to find out. We need to find out who her parents are.
The bad guys need to come back.
Yeah,
And do their counter
well,
attack.
there's the Vader Palpatine relationship with Kylo Ren and Snoke.
Yeah.
So it could literally just be a rehash of Episode 5. Like it could just be a plot thing, and it'll be. So this is what it. Well, this is not what I'm saying. What I think it will be, but what it could be is it'll be Rey like on the top of like another Death Star.
Okay.
And you've got like it'll be, who would it be? Kylo Ren telling her who her father is, and then she finds out. You know what I mean? It's like it could be
Why
a mirror
would
image.
Kylo Ren know whose father?
Well, what I'm saying is like so in this film, Luke could take the place of Yoda and be training Rey.
Yeah. Well,
she's gotta go.
in the trailers, we can see that she's training.
Well, we know that happens. Yeah, that definitely happens.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the story could just be Episode 5 rehashed.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to do that because I think they're going to take.
I think
it
that's a
on
bit
board.
too obvious now, especially with the feedback from the Force Awakens.
Yeah.
People don't want a rehash, like
No.
a soft reboot.
No. So
Ryan Johnson did say that they were doing a first for Star Wars.
yeah, and what I think that means is it's going to go completely off the rails in a good way. Like they're going to take the story and just turn it.
Yeah.
And I think what some ways that can be is Rey won't be a Skywalker,
Okay.
because if she's a Skywalker, it's going through that thing of like it's a story about the Skywalkers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas like what we saw with Rogue One was a story about ordinary people. It was about the workers on, the rebels on the ground, So I think it's going to be like Rey is more of a. There's that theory that she might be a Kenobi because she's got the British accent, like Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And yeah, see that's the thing. People are a bit like, what does that mean, kind of thing, because she's Force sensitive as well, and she heard Obi-Wan's voice when she touched the lightsaber. But the other way it could go is she's the daughter of some other character that's been there all along that we don't know about.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's like the different options. And I really hope that she's not a Skywalker, because that's kind of then just going to be like, so Luke's her father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a bit too obvious.
Yeah.
But in saying that, the Force Awakens stuff was really.
But the thing with that then is
obvious.
what could happen is Luke. It could be, instead of her and Kylo Ren, it could be Luke turns dark. Or Luke goes, I'm your father, in the way Darth Vader did to him. And he does that to Rey. But that's what I don't think that's going to happen. And this is where I'm like, I just literally couldn't tell you. what I think, like what I hope it's going to be is I hope that it's going to go off the rails and not be a rehash of like episode 5. It's just going to go somewhere else because you got Finn, Poe Dameron,
all these characters.
what was it? Organ? What was the the metal one, the one that they thought was wasted. One? The big stormtrooper lady.
Oh, Phasma.
Yeah, Phasma. What am I thinking? Of Leia Organa.
Yeah.
We'll see Leia's in it too. Yeah. And they're getting over Han's death as well.
Yep, and I'm still getting over Carrie Fisher's death.
Yeah, and then Carrie Fisher's death.
Which
I mean, the film was all shot before that, so there won't be any reference to it. But
I don't know. It'll be strange. It's her last film.
So 7 was left off with they're like bring Snoke was like bring Kylo Ren to me, and we're gonna work this out. So. What do you think the final conflict will be? Because the film, obviously, it's going to be like Rey training, and
is this episode 9 or is this
8? We're talking about 8.
What final? The final conflict is going to be.
No, I'm talking about every movie has its climax.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I think it'll be. I don't think Luke.
Do you think he'll
fight
be
in this episode?
Yeah, I was going to say. Do you think he's going to be like a Yoda, original trilogy Yoda, and not fight? And.
Do you think they'll kill him off?
Well, that's why the film name, The Last Jedi, people are thinking, is it plural or is singular? And it's like, is Luke the Last Jedi, or is it like the Last Jedi as in there's like a group of them, and they're the Last Jedi? And that's why it's like, it could go anywhere. And that's why I think it's going to be, I reckon they're going to pick the best possible path. And there's one sort of theory that it's going to be like Snoke's going to die in 8, at the end of 8.
Really?
And then it's sort of like Kylo Ren is then left to be the final fight in episode 9.
Maybe they'll do something where the bad guys actually win. Do you think they'll do that?
Well, that's how 5 ended, isn't it? Where they captured Han put him in the
because the middle one's supposed to be the dark one. In all the movies, it's always the
Attack of the Clones, that classic prequels. Oh wow! Oh, that face. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. That's going to be an ultimate showdown. That one's going to end in tears. So
that's a 2-hour pod right there.
Get the tissues out for that.
I'm already ready. Let's do it. But the middle one's always considered as the dark one, and then the last one is the upheaval.
Well, the final redemption.
Redemption.
Yeah, that's right. This one, I do think that episode 8 is going to end with a massive cliffhanger.
It'll be big. I think Luke will be killed off in episode 8. I'm gonna say that because I think he doesn't have enough of a bridge from the original series. It's a bit like Han. He just kind of came into the film.
Is that why do you think Mark Hamill seems happier in interviews? Because he knows his character's over.
Yeah, he's making
Harrison Ford.
Fat 40 mil. Yes.
And he's like, yeah, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
I can't do his voice. He's got a cool voice, but
I think. Do you know what I mean though? Like he'll be scrapped and made way of the new characters that have been established in the 7th film. These old characters who are in the originals will get picked off early. In the last film, we'll just have these new characters doing their thing. And there'll be no old characters.
But how will he die then? Do you think he'll fight Snoke?
I think he will fall to Kylo, or he'll sacrifice himself to Snoke. Because he says in the trailer, it's time for the Jedi to end. Yeah. So I wonder, what does he know? He has this book in the trailer. There's a tree. Yeah. There's a book. And it's like the Jedi book.
Yeah, that's the Journal of the Wills, isn't it? That's like the original. That's
so it's got like the prophecy.
Yeah.
So what I guess he's written. I don't think he's written it. He's read the book, and he knows. Yeah. I guess the end of the Jedi, like what happens if there's no one else to teach, or if maybe they have an example. If the Jedi ever do fall, do they pick up where they started, or does it fall forever?
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean. Like,
do you think because he knows he's gonna die, that he's got to pass it on, or when he's saying time for the Jedi to end?
I think you see Luke. I just don't know what Luke's purpose in the films at the moment, because in the first one he was just a placeholder for the story.
They were trying to find him, and
but we don't know why though. You see in the New Hope, we were trying to find Ben Kenobi, to help, in the battle, against
because he had
the Empire. Luke, it's just that we're just looking for Luke.
Well, because he can stop the First Order. I think that's the theory. that because like the 7 was the Force Awakens, so there'd been like sort of relatively stable peace, or there hadn't been any major events, and that's why there's no story between 6 and 7, even though there was like, what was it meant 30 years later. So the Force is like awakened in episode 7, so the conflicts, the First Order's risen, because we saw with Hux, there was like the Nazi scene with all the stuff, and they're ready to fight.
So they need to bring, I think Luke is going to be Luke to settle it.
Yeah,
because he's the most powerful.
Because he's done it before. I think is part of the point that he's like he trained Kylo Ren originally. You know what I mean? So he's got that history, and I think they're gonna, and then he's gonna sort of train Rey, and then she's got to.
She'll be the. Do you think? I'm just wondering if they'll kill off Kylo Ren.
No, I don't think they'll kill him off. I reckon it'll be him and Rey. Him and Rey at end of episode 9 has to be, and that's why I think it makes sense if Luke and Snoke. If Luke and Snoke fight in 8 and they both die, they could even kill each other, maybe.
Yeah.
Because the thing with Snoke, another question people were saying is how tall is he because of the hologram? Apparently he's 7 foot. Okay. So he's not like a tiny little thing where it's like a joke, and he's not a giant monster.
Yeah.
Like in the hologram, he's just a really tall alien.
An elderly, disfigured man.
If you think actually, the alien in Alien is about 7 foot. It's just taller than a normal human, about a head taller.
Will he die in episode 8?
Snoke, possibly,
but he hasn't done much really. We haven't.
There could be a simultaneous thing, and this is what it could be is like Snoke is training Kylo, Luke is training Rey. And then the Masters die. The Masters meet and kill each other off.
Yeah.
And then episode 9 is like Kylo Ren and Rey tracking each other down. Maybe one of them goes into hiding or something happens and they've got to get to each other.
Well, they're sort of both lost at that point, without their masters.
I think it's going to be It's going to be a preparation film. So it's going to be like a lot of like the training, and it's going to be with like Finn and Poe. There's got to be some other mission, and I think that's going to be involved with Leia, because apparently the younger guys had a lot of scenes with Leia.
Okay.
So it's going to be like some kind of mission that they have to, and there are somehow, I reckon, they're either going to have like a separate story completely that might tie in right at the end, or because like Rey's gone off to hiding with Luke, and I don't know if Luke's going to come back and meet Leia. They're going to have that reunion scene. I
think they do.
Yeah,
they said it in after she passed away, and there was an article, but they do have scenes together.
Okay.
I think she's finished her scenes for episode 9.
Yeah, she's in it a little bit apparently.
A little bit.
Yeah. So we know she leaves, but does Luke? That's the question.
I don't think Luke will stay on.
Do you think him and Snoke might kill each other?
Well,
that could be pretty epic.
That would be epic. A good fight between them, but
yeah.
Yeah, and they're introducing Laura Dern
as Rey's. Well, isn't she supposedly Rey's mother?
Is she?
I thought that's what it was.
Then who's Laura Dern?
Well, that's the question.
Because there's Laura Dern. There's I forgot his name.
Bianco del Toro.
Yes.
Yeah, he's another villain.
He's
kind of like, I think he's a villain. He's like a rogue, isn't he?
A rogue.
He's kind of like
Boba
an
Fett
evil
now.
Han. Yeah, he's sort of like an evil Han Solo, Boba Fett type thing. Not necessarily a bounty hunter, but just a guy who plays by his own rules, I think.
And there's another character, I think.
Yeah.
That's been introduced.
Yeah.
No confirmation on Lando as well.
Ooh.
Lando Calrissian.
Might come in at the end. He's Rey's father.
Lando and Laura Dern.
Ooh.
I don't know.
All right.
Is Laura Dern a Jedi though?
So how about how much box office do you think it's going to make? I reckon because Star Wars did about, what was it, like 2.7 billion?
See. Well,
3? Do you reckon it'll hit 3 or less?
The R2-D2 midget guy passed away.
Yeah, Kenny Baker. Yeah.
Kenny Baker. Carrie Fisher also passed away. Now we've seen how well Furious 7 did after,
and also
Walker.
Dark Knight after Heath
and
Ledger.
Dark Knight.
So you think it's going to get a post-death bump?
Oh yeah. Disney's counting their wads.
And it is also like, because it's the 40th anniversary of Star Wars this year, so it might be, there's a bit of hype around, the big convention and stuff. But is that going to translate? Oh, and Hayden Christensen's in this one too.
Really?
Yeah.
He's actually in it?
Yeah, as Anakin. So there's going to be like flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
So we get more of the Darth Vader mythology. I just kind of hope that Rey's not another Skywalker, because then it's like it's
too
just
obvious.
Like this big family. Yeah.
It's too obvious.
Yeah.
Rey Skywalker. I don't know. Luke doesn't seem like the type to be smitten.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Like,
actually, no. Sorry, he hooked up with his sister and all that. He
but he
appreciated Leia's beauty. Box office, I think it will beat Avatar.
Oh, you think it'll be the highest grossing film of all time?
No, I think it'll beat Titanic. I don't think it'll beat Avatar.
Imagine if it were like beats Avatar and is like considered like the greatest film of all time.
Jeez.
That's a big claim. Putting it out there right now. No, I do think generally it's going to be the highest rated Star Wars film of all time.
Okay.
And that's the thing. I can't tell you what it's going to be, so that's why I think that's going to be good in terms of instead of bad. Because Rogue One was still pretty good, most of it. But I think they've made a few mistakes with Force Awakens and Rogue One that they're going to fix for this one. I think in Rian Johnson.
Too many loose...
Because his last... I love
Looper.
Because remember, he did Looper, and he did Ozymandias, which is considered the greatest episode of television of all time.
That's true.
So he could have greatest episode of TV, greatest Star Wars film, possibly the greatest film. You heard it here first.
Looper. What did you think of Looper?
Loved it.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Any last thoughts on Star Wars?
Okay, just to cover it all.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do your hand thing at me.
I'm cutting this.
No, don't cut it. Okay. I think it'll be good.
Wow. Deep, meaningful insight. Sean McMahon.
It'll be good. This movie is good. Star Wars 2017.
This movie is good. Do you want to be on the poster? 5 stars. This movie is
5
good.
No stars yet.
No stars yet.